On October 21st, IBJ unveils the 2025 Women of Influence. Join us to celebrate Indy's most inspiring leaders and hear the powerful stories behind their success. Don't miss this moment. Register now at ibj.com/influence 2025.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, September 26, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Since 1995, Ivy Tech Community College has helped train public safety professionals through its Homeland Security and Public Safety program. One of the college's previous fire trucks used for training was 30 years old, and the Indianapolis Fire Department's Michael Tiernan said the department answered the call for help by donating 2 fire engines and equipment.
A lot of the members of the Indianapolis Fire Department take classes out here. We've done training out here. Their previous engine was donated by the fire department. I think it was a 1985 engine. So it's lasted a long time and it served its purpose, but without working engines, they would not be able to participate or even continue with their fire school.
The fire engines, which previously served the city of Beech Grove and Franklin Township in Indianapolis, allowed students to get hands-on training and knowledge. Guersney Farms in the Boone County town of Jamestown has received the $20,000 first prize in the inaugural Weaver Popcorn Manufacturing Stewardship Award. The recognition is presented to Weaver popcorn growers who are committed to improving soil health and water quality on their operations. A team of Purdue University students was one of 3 winners at the Moonshot Pitch Challenge, taking home $2,000 for their product, Spheroline, a redesigned central line that minimizes patient discomfort and reduces the risk of infection or sepsis when administering medication or fluids. The team says it will use the funding to develop a medical-grade prototype. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Each September, National Employ Older Workers Week recognizes the value older adults bring to the workforce. For Seniors Helping Seniors in Granger, that value is visible every day in the homes of the elderly they serve. Franchise owner Becky Kuzokrea said she and her husband Terry saw an opportunity to combine their personal experience with caregiving and a passion for serving others. She says the experience of older workers allows them to empathize with clients in ways that younger workers might not.
They understand a lot of what the client is going through. They're aging themselves. There is no better caregiver than somebody that can understand without having to ask really questions. They have that empathy because, they're going through some of those challenges themselves. I'll be 65 in another month, and I'm seeing some of that as well already.
Caregivers at SHS Granger earn between $15 and $17 an hour, with placements matched to their skills and physical abilities in order to ensure a good fit for both worker and client. An organization centered on improving downtown Indianapolis is hopeful that a rebranding and several positive trends found in its latest report will help bolster perception of the Central Business District. Now known as Downtown Indy Alliance after a rebranding made this month, the organization previously called Downtown Indy Inc. shared its annual report Thursday. The report shows that Indianapolis has seen a decrease in both its office and multifamily occupancy rates year over year, but increases in the supply of apartments and condominiums as well as an improvement in resident satisfaction. You can connect to the full report at ibj.com. As U.S. farmers continue to deal with the fallout of being priced out of Chinese markets by the Trump administration's tariffs, Indiana growers are celebrating a trade deal with Taiwan they hope will alleviate some pain. With Indiana Governor Mike Braun and Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith on hand, leaders of Indiana's corn and soybean lobbies signed letters of intent with officials from Taiwan on Thursday that called for the island nation to purchase close to $6 billion worth of U.S. agricultural products over the next 4 years. Indiana Soybean Alliance Chair Denise Scarborough is a LaPorte County corn grower and said the recent trade war has been hard on Hoosier farmers.
We've been feeling the hurt in agriculture for quite a while now. Hopefully things like today is a big win for not only Indiana but for all U.S. farmers. Having those letters of intent being able to be signed, being able to have the relationships and continue to build the relationships with countries like Taiwan and other countries into the future, to being able to secure and confirm to them that, in Indiana and in the U.S., we grow a safe, consistent product everywhere in the United States and especially in Indiana.
The dual letters of intent did not specify how much of the combined 16 metric tons of corn and soybeans will come from Indiana. IB Tech Community College President Marty Polio is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Do you want the real scoop on what's happening in Indiana business? Check out the IBJ podcast. I'm Mason King, and each week I sit down with people who make news in Indiana to get insights and perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. It's business, but you won't need an MBA. The guests run the gamut from CEOs, developers, and sports executives to artists and chefs and financial planners. If there's a theme, it's that everything has a cost. And success often depends on how you define profit and loss. So if you want to deepen your understanding of the people and projects shaping Indiana, give the IBJ podcast a try. You can find it at ibjpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.